Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here, hope you're well. Last time we were looking at layer management and how to sort of move things around, rename things, and we didn't delete any layers, but we can show you real quickly how to do that. It's very, very simple, it's one job. But renaming is important, okay? So I'm going to go into the next bit, which is selection tools. So I left you sort of with two pieces of text on two different layers, so we'd have a total of 3 layers, something very simple, very basic. And you notice that one set of text has multiple colors and one didn't. It was just very basic black. And I left you with a task to see if you could experiment to see how you can change the colors of the text. Is there a way of doing it? There is a way of doing it, and we can go and select the text individually, and then we can go and color them in. And then we're also going to go and just understand that once we select it, when we select a thing, it kind of puts like a barrier around that thing from the rest of the picture, and we can do whatever we want to that selection. It's quite powerful in what we're able to do, but also don't forget it's in that layer, so we're not destroying anything else that's in the picture. It's only the things that are in that layer, and we're going to select things in that layer. So let's go into Affinity. Here we are with my colourful text. So I'm going to put this at the bottom like this. So I'm going to just hold down shift, and as I hold down shift you can see that it snaps to the grid. So I want to go and hold down shift. Let's just go and make sure that snaps. I'm going to go and grab this in my microphone layer. I'm going to go and rename this and call this home, like so. And I'm going to go and grab this and pull this up and hold down shift so it selects it and puts it in the middle. Well, it doesn't quite look dead centered to me. I'm going to go and leave that off for a second because it doesn't quite look 100%. Anyway, we'll leave it as it is. So in here we can go and start to select individual things. Okay, so we can start to grab pieces of text in here, but we can also go and just make a selection as well. So I'm going to go and pause this for a second. So we're going to go and have a look at the text layer over here. And then we're going to look at the differences between having text as just regular text, but also how we can just turn it into an object and color that in too. So we're going to have a go at both ways, both a simple way, which is just like a Word document, works the same way, and then we're going to go and have it as an object, which is a sort of a Photoshop style change. Okay, but you can see that one kind of has more power than the other. So we're going to go and look at the simple one to begin with. So I've got microphone here. It's in very boring font. Okay, so I'm going to go and highlight it all just by double clicking or highlighting the text that I want. So this means that I can go and select one piece of text, one letter at a time, or I can go and double click it all and get it all. On an iPad you may need to go and select, but it's very similar where you can double tap on the letters too and it'll do the same job. So inside my text I've got my menus at the top. So this is like one of the menus that we kind of missed off when we looked at the text menus, really, because it's very much like Word or Docs, Google Docs or Office. You can make things centered, you can make things aligned, you can move things around side to side, you can make things bold, you can make things not, you can make things italic, and you can make things underlined. You can also change the size. Okay, so if you want to go and make it really small or really large, you can do. Okay, but you can also make it large from the corners like we did before. You've got lots and lots of choices here. On the side here you've got loads of different fonts, okay, and you can go and grab fonts from different websites such as thefont.com that we're going to have a look at later on, because not everything is in here that we want. Whoops. So we can go and just go and grab something that is, let's go and get Handypan, like that, just for fun. Okay, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to go make this bold. In fact, I can't make this bold, but I can make this a little bit bigger if I want to make this a little bit bigger. And then I can go and change the colors too. Now your colors, for pretty much everything that you want with colors, it's generally on your palette down here, and you can just sort of double click it and it will bring up your color picker like this. And across the top you've got your swatch, and this will change your basic colors, and then you can go and change the colors however you like this. However, you will notice that it changes all the writing at the same time. How do we change the letters individually? Well, you can just highlight it like you do in Word. It's exactly the same job, okay? And you can go and grab your colors over here, and you can start to move things around individually, very sort of minutely, and you can go and use this sort of color wheel, and you can start to see how it changes the text as well as the opacity here, which gives you a little bit more control, right? You may, because when we're making our LP covers or our record covers, you need to have some kind of color swatch, which we're going to use later on. A color swatch is where you have a set number of colors, and that's your theme. So that's your color theme. I have a color picker here, which is going to allow me to go and pick up a color picker, and it should bring up the color from the side. Is it going to call me a fibber? Let's go and grab my colors. Let's go and get my color picker. It's going to let me pick the color. Maybe it's not going to let me pick the color. That's annoying. Let's go and grab the color picker from the side. So I'm going to go and get my color picker. I'm going to go and grab the size of the house like this. Let me go and pause this because it wants some system settings. Anyway, back again. So when I've got my colors and I'm using my color picker from the top here, my color picker for me isn't going to work. However, my color picker from here, which is just at the top underneath my selection tool, will let me choose the color, and it will let me choose the color of the building. You can choose the color of anything that you want in the background. What we're going to go and try and do is probably try and match the sky as best we can like that. And you can see that we can start to get really sort of clever with our colors by using colors that are going to be sort of contrasty, or colors that are going to sort of be sort of really bold on here. But you can do this one by one. You see, you can select this and change it one by one. The problem is it's not particularly exciting, because if you look at this one at the bottom, the H at the bottom, that the H has a gradient on it, which means that you can start to really get lots of control in here. So once you've had a go at changing the colors inside your one of your words, okay, start to experiment with that by all means. However, I'm going to pull my layers menu out here and put it into the center so you can actually see what's going on here. This is I can just resize this so I can get out of the way. These two are different. So the microphone one here is text. This one is an object, and it's got a name. It's called rasterization, and it turns the text from just regular writing into part of an image. So you can do that by right clicking. I think on an iPad you can long press and get a context menu on there. So if you long press with an iPad, you can find the same menu. And so you can go and rasterize here, and you'll be able to go and find the rasterize option, which is in there. When you're going to rasterize it, it turns it into an image, and you can see that it's going to change that into rasterize. I'm going to do the same for the both. And inside this thumbnail, you'll notice that the option for an A, which tells us that is a text layer. So the A that's got some writing in there. But if I rasterize it, it will turn the A off, and then this text becomes one solid image, okay, inside here. So if I just going to put my layers back into my menu like that, and this means that when I go and select now, that this is one whole piece, this is one whole chunk, which means that we can start to do things to the image using our select tool. Okay, so once we're ready to go at this, we're going to go into the next bit, which is the selection and changing all the images, or the colors, sorry. Right, go and change the colors normally like this. Go and right click and go and rasterize that image like that, and then once you've got some different colors in there, we're going to go and start to play around with the selections. So going from basic to sort of intermediate. Right, going to go at that, and then I'll see you in the next one.